It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just left off the previous story, so you guys are getting two videos back to back today as promised, because I missed one on Monday and I want to make sure that on the 24th I have 24 video. So the book that I'm going to talk today is a really short story. It was, I think, around 70 pages, so really a novella. And the title is Margot Under the Mistletoe, and it's by Kiera Jones. It was such a nice story, guys. Before I even get into the plot, it was so cute. It was adorable. So what happened in this story? You have Margot. She's explaining that she lives in Peachville, and basically she's handling a booth at the Christmas market. It's a town really famous for its Christmas market, so much so that they have a contest each year for who has the best booth, in the city. And they have a family that is their direct adversary, so her and her mom. The booth was created by her grandmother, and they sell waffles because her grandmother is from Belgium. And if you know something about Belgium, because I'm from Belgium myself, we're really famous for beers, chocolate, and waffles. And so they have a Belgian waffle booth, and basically they have 5 different type of waffle that you can get, and it's a nice treat for the Christmas market. Their adversary, so the people that always get the crown of the Christmas market, are the family called the Ostergaard, and she has not a beef, but some rivalry with their son called Nicholas. And she's explaining at the beginning of the story that he made her pour hot chocolate all over her white dress, I believe. And so she has a grudge against him, other than the fact that the two families are rivals and that they don't really get along. But it's a playful rivalry, sorry, because I don't want you to think it's a Romeo and Juliet kind of story. The parents are both single parents, and she says that she actually gets quite along with his older brother, but for some reason she cannot get along with Nicholas. So in this book they start flirting with each other, and she's thinking that she should distract him so that they can get the crown and get the win for the waffle booth. So she starts wearing, nice clothes, put more makeup, and he gives her a gift actually. He knows that she's a classical book major, so he gives her like I think a nice edition of one of the books that she prefers the most, like one of her favorites. In return, because he's a musical major, she gives him a vinyl. She gives him a vinyl of his favorite artist, and I think it's Bruce Springsteen. And recommends her to listen to one of his songs, which is "I'm on Fire," and it's a really sexual song. So there's this sexual tension between the two of them, all throughout the story. And even though she plays it off as, oh my god, now we're just rivals, I'm just trying to distract him so that we can get the crown, you can tell that she actually appreciates him, that there's mutual respect between the both of them, and that they actually get along pretty well. There's no shame in admitting that. So this is how the story is gonna go between them both. And at some point, finally, the sexual tension reaches the maximum and they kiss. But she misunderstood him. She thought that he was just using her, for the competition. So she ran away from him. And under the advice of her mom and her best friend, she realized that maybe she was too hasty in her conclusion about him, and that he was not a bad person and he was not trying to use her. And actually, when you read the book and you go throughout the story, you realize that he had the biggest crush on her for years, basically up until the time they arrived in America, because Nicholas is from Denmark and he was basically a foreign student arriving in a small town, so he didn't have that many friends at the beginning. And he says to her at some point that he had a crush on her. So I found that really adorable, because she was just admitting that he was nice looking and all of that, but she was just seeing him as a rival, whereas he was thinking about her differently. So yeah, this is how the story of how they're gonna get together. It was a really, really nice story. I'm not gonna spoil it for the ending. It was really cute, really short, really easy to read, and I really loved it. It was a feel-good story, a real Christmas feel-good story. And after something so steamy that I read this afternoon, it was nice to jump to something a little bit sweeter and a little bit more romantic. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 14th, and then I will go on with the rest of my challenge. I cannot believe that there's less than 11 to 10 episodes left. yeah, I cannot believe it. So yeah, I will see you guys next time, and in the meantime, I hope you guys have a nice day, evening, or whenever you guys are watching. Bye.
Season of peace is finally here.